Okay. Hopefully we're live and recording. So happy Wednesday. Wanted to pop on really quick. I'm going to try to keep this short and sweet because I know we're all busy and tired. But I did want to talk really quick about just a little bit more about nutrition. I sent out an email earlier in the week and I attached to it the hunger scale. And so I just want to go over that with you guys really quick, because for me, this is one of those tools that I have been using for many, many years. I have a lot of clients that will come back to me after years and be like, I still use the hunger scale. It's still helpful. It's something that I know personally I use a lot. And it's just something that can be a super, helpful thing that you can implement in no matter what is going on, no matter how busy you are, no matter how stressed you are. It's one of those things that it's not like this big life overhaul, and yet it can have such a big impact in your relationship with food and how you feel, and helping you get results that you want. So in terms of just feeling better with nutrition. And it's what I like about it is it's another tool that allows us to, we talked about last week, connecting back to sort of those more internal intuitive cues and signals that our body's giving to us versus having to use such external cues all the time. So for example, maybe you come from a background where you've been taught, I have to eat 5 to 6 small frequent meals per day. So you kind of force yourself to do that even if maybe you're not feeling hungry. Or maybe you're in the more recent school of thought that everyone's pushing right now, which is, like intermittent fasting. So you should only eat 2 meals a day. You should postpone eating until a certain time. And there's nothing wrong with those things. If like you love eating small frequent meals, I know that I personally love that. That's great if it matches up with your body. Or if you're somebody like my husband or my best friend who genuinely is not hungry in the morning and does not want to eat breakfast, that can also be fine. So again, there's not one right way, but this tool can be so helpful in, again, just helping you figure out for your body. Now, one of the things that I've seen over the years for people who've been heavily, inundated with diet culture and trying to follow all these rules that we're told is sometimes you may feel disconnected from your body and your hunger. So you may just no longer recognize hunger because your body for so long through diets was trying to tell you that it was hungry and you suppress that. And so those sort of more like traditional cues of like stomach grumbling and things like that, you may not experience that a lot. Or what I see with a lot of my clients is there's such a fear of hunger that they eat before they ever allow themselves to experience hunger. So we're trying to find this happy medium where we're not allowing ourselves to get to an extreme of really feeling that, starvation, hunger, especially for the sake of like, I have to, reduce my calories or whatever. But we also, hunger is not something to be afraid of either. We can allow ourselves some healthy hunger. So let me do a quick screen share and pull this up. So this is the hunger scale. This comes from the Intuitive Eating book. You might see different, I used to use a scale with clients where it was -10 to +10. But a lot of my clients liked this one for the reason that normal eating range, they felt like they weren't totally at zero, if that makes sense, right? Like they didn't feel like they had to get to a point of like zero in their mind that like I'm emptied out. And that's not really what we're going for here. So if you look here, what we see is 0 to 10 range, 0 being like really, really like starving hungry, right? Where most of us probably never have been, or like maybe just once or twice in our life. And then up to a 10, which is that, like, I think of that just like, post Thanksgiving meal, just so full, it's painful, you have to like unbutton your pants, right? And then we have all these degrees in between. So what we can see here is our goal, and what's great about this is that how much food your body needs is unique to your body. That's why, again, diets don't work, because what your body needs, I can see this with my own 2 children. They have very different appetites, and we kind of joke about it. My oldest child is kind of like, she barely eats, she'll forget to eat. I have to remind her to eat. She doesn't eat a lot. My younger child she loves to eat, she loves food, and she just has a bigger appetite. And they're both wonderful. It's great, right? They're both good. They're listening to their bodies. So that's what we're trying to come back to. When we're born, it's one of the first things we know how to do, right? We cry when we're hungry. We know how to stop when we're full. And so we really do have that intuition built into us. So we're trying to get back to that. So the goal here, what I always try to teach my clients is, we're trying to stay around that 5 point as much as we can throughout the day. Of course, there's going to be times when we are hungry. And I don't know about you, but like going into a meal with a little bit of hunger it actually makes it a more pleasurable experience. So allowing for some hunger is great, right? Allowing your body some time between meals to, I call it digestive rest, to get away from having to digest food, experience just a little bit of hunger so that you're ready for the next meal is a good thing. But we just want to make sure we don't get to that point of over hungry, where then, I don't know about you, but I get to the point where I just will eat everything in sight. It's very hard to stop. On the flip side of that, we've probably all eaten past the point of comfortable, past the point that feels good, given our body more fuel than it really can handle in the moment. And then that's when we start to feel that discomfort. And that can lead to overeating and so some other things that maybe we don't really want in terms of just lack of, energy levels and other things like that. So this is just a really great tool that you can come back to. And, it's subjective. Obviously, what is a 6 for me versus a 6 for you? They may be a little bit different, but it definitely gives you something that you can use to sort of check in. So play around with this. If this is something you feel like you need, and you may not, you may be like, oh, I got this. But if this is something you think would be helpful, don't think of it as right or wrong. Don't think of this as like some big rule where, you can never eat if you're not, you're not hungry. Like sometimes we're just going to eat for pleasure. Sometimes we're going to eat past the point of comfortably full because we're just really enjoying the meal. But again, if you can go back to using this as something that is helpful in terms of listening to your body, let's say, 80-90% of the times, you'll be amazed at the difference it makes. So what I would say is focus on slowing down. You may already be a slow eater. I'm a very fast eater. So this is something I have to constantly remind myself. And then just ask yourself before, during, and after the meal, where do you think you are on the hunger scale? So when you go in to eat a meal, where am I on the hunger scale? And just have fun with it. Don't take it too serious. Don't feel like there's a right or wrong. Oh, maybe I'm not hungry enough. I can't eat yet. Don't do any of that. But just start to use this as a tool to reconnect back to your body. So, how hungry am I going into a meal? And then, halfway through the meal, just play around with stopping and asking yourself. It takes about 20 minutes for our stomach to tell our brain that we're full, for the receptors in our stomach to stretch out and then actually get that signal to the brain. So when we're eating slow and we're stopping and we're checking in, then that can help us a lot in not overeating. And I always tell my clients, you can always come back and eat more. One of the big principles we teach in intuitive eating is unconditional permission to eat. If you are genuinely hungry, always allow yourself to eat. But you can't undo overeating, right? We've all had that feeling of like, oh, I just ate too much and there's just nothing I can do. So this again can be a tool. If you stop and you're like, let me just wait 10 minutes and see how I'm feeling. Genuinely hungry, I'm going to eat again. If I'm not, oh great, I can wait, push that off, a few hours or until the next meal, until my body tells me I'm hungry again. So such a basic tool, but such a powerful tool that you can use, and it can really become like sort of a second nature thing. I know for me, it's gotten to the point I'm just kind of checking with myself. Am I hungry? Can I wait a little bit? No, do I, am I getting to the point where I'm getting distracted by my hunger, then I need to take care of myself. Eating is a form of self-care. So we never want to be denying ourselves food if our body's genuinely hungry. That's its way of telling us it needs fuel. But again, you can kind of play around with what range feels good for you. So just want to share that with you guys tonight. I sent this out in the email. I'll post it up in the Facebook group as well. As always, if you have any questions about this, please reach out to me anytime, and I'm happy to answer it. But again, hope this is helpful. Tomorrow night, Jen and I are going to try to do a coach's corner. It'll be in the evening because she's got clients. Hopefully around 8 o'clock-ish or whatever. And yeah, we'll be coming on to just talk about a few other things that both of us have learned over the years from our own training experiences, answer any questions you guys have, and we'll be doing a fun prize drawing. So very excited about that. But again, if you have any questions, reach out. Otherwise, you guys are doing amazing. So much fun spending these last 2.5 weeks with you guys. And I will talk to y'all soon. Okay.